Hello, and welcome back to episode 6 or part 6 of my F122 My Team Career Mode. And right now, the team acclaim is level 15, so I'm picking a third sponsorship for the team, to get the money. And I choose like Avanzar, I think that's how you say it. The one that's like 89 days, 110k weekly income. Or let me see what I choose. It's been so long since I record like 2 of these in one, let them post, and then another 2. Right, I think that's the one I choose. Let's see. Yeah, I do choose them. Avanzar, which is complete 50 laps during a race weekend, and it's 198 for the goal bonus. So I signed with them. Now I got 3 sponsors, and I go into my car livery, the team car livery, and then I change the sponsor decals. So now I have Xenon, Distort, and Zigzag, and now Avanzar as the team sponsors. Yeah. Right, this is part 6 or episode 6. We are on the Texas GP, or like the Circuit of Americas. Last week, or the last week. The last week was the Suzuka GP in Japan, and the team, we made some pretty good overtakes, but sadly no points that GP week. So now in Texas we are going to try to score some points, to have the constructors champions keep our position, since we're in a really close fight right now with the other teams, and 2, to keep my own position in the drivers championship. Right now it's asking me who I consider my rival. I picked George Russell because like Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc are like the leaders right now, so why would I want him as a rival when I know I'm not going to beat him? At least George Russell, I'm still not going to beat him, but it'll be easier than Max. But then the Pirelli hot laps, I just skip, and then now we go into the race weekend. So yeah, in the drivers, we're pretty close with some other drivers too, so we want as many points as possible to keep our position in the drivers championship. And then we just got a bunch of engine upgrades from Mercedes, which supply our engine, and that was our practice, like what we did with the acclaim and the resource points and the development boost. And you see powertrain and durability, they're gonna go under some regulation changes next season, so I just want to adapt all the parts so I don't lose all the progress I've made in getting those parts. And the gearbox is damaged, so I apply my 4th gearbox now. And now all of our parts should be nice and good for the next. We got Texas, Mexico, Brazil, Abu Dhabi. For the next 4 races, we should have fresh new parts. And now we're going on to our qualifying session, and we're just making a setup. I got the setup from online, so you can copy it. It's just a dry Texas setup. You can copy it or not, whichever one. I don't really know if it's good or not. I just Google it online and then I do it. Yeah, so front and rear camber, I go the max, and then front toe, rear toe, I go the lowest. And then suspension, what I do, front suspension is 7, rears 1, front roll bars 7, rears 1. And brake pressure is 100, front brake bias 50. The front tires are, what are they? They are 24.3, and the rear tires are 23. And that's all PSI. and just lower my fuel for the qualifying lap so I can have as less weight as possible. And then now I just start my qualifying lap. Here we go, going onto the main straight. Got the 5 lights. Go 7th gear, 8th gear, up the hill. And we go down to 2nd gear, and I'm already losing places to Max and Lando Norris, as you saw, but I'm on provisional pole. Now Norris is dropping places, as this is the S section. This part, I'm so bad at this part. Every time I race on this circuit, I never know how to nail the S section in Coda. Yeah, you see I dropped all the way down to like P21. Now Leclerc is on provisional pole. I'm still P1. Yeah. And then dropped down to P22 for a second. In last place. You can see the light so blinding. Can't even see anything. It's too bright. And yeah, we're just going on this back straight or something. Going. It's still P21. That's probably where I'm gonna be. Well, let's see if I can make up some places. I mean, I'm P17, P13. The gap to provisional pole is 0.795 for me. And now I'm making it into the top 10. See, top 10, now 11. Going into this like big curve. And then going on to the last couple of turns. Now this is really the last turn. Get in, nice, hit the apex, activate the DRS, and I get P11. That's pretty good. Seeing as like all of sector 1 and sector 2, I was like P21, so P11 is pretty good. I got a 136.005. The gap was 1.088 to provisional pole. George Russell outqualified me, so he got the 2 greens. I got 1 green. And then the weather for the race is just going to be all dry and sunny. So I'll just let Crofty talk over this part now. Or Martin Brundle, I don't know who it is.
2018 that Kimi Raikkonen delighted the world by taking the top step of the podium for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what, I wonder, is in store for us here today? It's the Circuit of the Americas then, situated 14 miles outside of the great city of Austin. This is a 3.6-mile lap with 20 corners, 10 to the left and 10 to the right, and top speeds of around 200 miles per hour. Overtaking opportunities are available into turns 1 and 12, especially with that rear wing DRS wide open. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Hamilton, Max Verstappen and Norris, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Vettel and Hughes, Ocon, Magnussen, Valtteri Bottas and Stroll, Albon, Mick Schumacher, Daniel Ricciardo. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Guan Yu Zhou, Gasly, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Here we go then, the formation lap is underway and the track temperature looks warm. that may or may not play into some of the team's hands in today's race. So as all the cars reform the grid, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring the planned strategies are all in place.
Now that is the formation lap over. Now we got the 5 lights, and out and away we go in Kota. So I'm starting P10, P9 Vettel, and then Magnussen makes an overtake, but there's a crash ahead, so I overtake Vettel, Sainz, Norris, and a lot of people, Verstappen, Bottas, and we can watch a replay right now. So I'm P11, I jump to P10, I overtake Magnussen, Vettel, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, George Russell. George Russell originally crashed or something, locked his brake. That caused a big crash behind him. That's why I was able to overtake so many people. I am now P5 behind Fernando Alonso. And then there goes the safety car. So we have Charles Leclerc, P1 in the Ferrari. P2 is Sergio Perez, best of the Red Bulls right now since Verstappen is behind me. And after Perez or Checo, we have Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes. In P3, P4 is Fernando Alonso in the Alpine. I'm obviously P5 with the everything team. And P6 is Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. P7 is Alfa Romeo. Yeah. As you can see, we have the safety car, and then all the cars are just trying to catch the safety car queue. And you see we have Piastri, like P20, and we have Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda, P21, P22. So you got the 2 AlphaTauris in the back with my teammate. I'm gonna sack Piastri and after season 1 is done, because man, he's just not scoring any points for the team. So I'm gonna get a new driver. I'm probably gonna pick up Yuki Tsunoda if he is open to negotiations. But yeah, here's the safety car, and here we are making the first turn. And then the yellow dot on the mini map is the safety car. So now we have finally caught up with the safety car or something. Now I just have to stay behind Fernando Alonso. Yeah, and it looks like the 2 AlphaTauris are double stacking and they're pitting after lap 1. So I'm guessing after the whole George Russell incident, they both had damage, so they had to go pit. Because like Verstappen and Bottas were caught up in the accident too, but they didn't need to pit, so I'm guessing they didn't have any damage. Yeah. Now we're going in the main straight with the safety car, and I'm just weaving to try to get my tires. And since this is a safety car, I'm saving a lot of fuel right now. So even though I did what I normally did, or I did the fuel less than what I normally fill the car up to, I still am overloaded on fuel right now. And then in a little, the video will cut to the whole, I think, lap 3 of the safety car, just because the Xbox capture is weird and it just stops midway. So I lost the whole lap of a safety car, but it's okay. It's just a safety car, not actual racing. So yeah, now we're on lap 3, and the safety car is gonna come in this lap. And we're on the big curve that leads onto the main straight. And yeah, we're just trying to maintain the speed right now. No, I think we're gonna start accelerating soon, and then as I always do, I have horrible safety car restarts. So yeah, the top four they get away from me really quick. See, yeah, look at the gap already. And so I need to practice my safety car restarts. This is not good. You see Max Verstappen makes an overtake on me into turn one. I try to defend the position. No, he has the faster straight line speed, so going through the S section, he is now P5 and I'm P6. And then P7 is Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo. P8 is Lando Norris in the McLaren. And I didn't see Lando Norris pit either, so I'm guessing he didn't have any damage because he was also caught up in the accident. And then the team asked to change the strategy to pit onto mediums on lap 8 now. It was originally lap 6, but now I confirmed it, and then now I'm pitting on the mediums on lap 8. There we go. And we're going onto the back straight. I can't make any moves. I'm like 1 second away from Verstappen. So we just gotta wait for that DRS to get activated, which it will activate on lap 5, I think, or lap 6. Because if it's 2 laps, then it will be lap 6, I'm pretty sure. And now we're going into the big curve. Yeah, and the gap to Verstappen is now 0.8. So I did close it down a little, but still not enough. And then going onto the main straight, he just brought it back to 1 since I had a little wiggle at in the corner right there. I had to overcorrect it. And yeah, that lap there was no action, so I just skipped onto lap 5. And lap 5 lap time is 1:38.556, which is currently my best time. Yeah. So I just skipped all of lap 5 because there was no action. So I'm on lap 6 now. The gap to Verstappen is like 1 second. And then throughout lap 5, Lando Norris overtook Valtteri Bottas. So now Lando Norris is behind me, and then Bottas is behind Norris. And you can see the gap to me and Norris is only 0.3 seconds. So you can see his proximity arrow. He's constantly trying to make a move on me. See right here, the arrow goes red. He's on my right side. Can you see him? Yeah, you can see his front wing and his tire a little. Try to send one down, but no, he didn't make it. And I'm still ahead of him down this back straight. My ERS is getting kind of low. I'm at 15% or 14, and I'm just gonna try to not use that much and recover. See Lando Norris trying to send another one down on the outside. Doesn't stick. Yeah, but that just makes the gap to Verstappen 2 seconds. So that's giving Verstappen some breathing room because I'm trying to defend from Norris behind me. Yeah. And then I tell the engineers, or tell my pit crew to box this lap, even though the strategy I changed it to lap 8. I saw the front row leaders boxing. So I just wanted to follow them and box on lap 6 instead of lap 8. And yeah, I go into the pits. I do my turn-in thingy. And you see Leclerc has the fastest lap right now. Yeah, my box time was a 2.2, but that release was horrible. I was there for like another, I don't know how long, but I was there for longer than I should have since that release was horrible. So, and then of course I mess up turn 1 and go wide there. But going out of the pits, I end up P15, and I get a warning for exceeding track limits right there in the S section. I also need to practice this S section. Yeah. I'll give you the top five right now, or not the top 5, that's 5 that I can see on my top left corner. We got P13 Verstappen, P14 Alonso, P15 is me, P16 Bottas, and P17 is Daniel Ricciardo. And then everyone on their own, their respective teams, Red Bull, Alpine, Alfa Romeo, and McLaren. But that sucks, man. Daniel Ricciardo in real life, not in the game. They sacked him at McLaren. I mean, he's getting a big paycheck for that anyway. But that means I'm pretty sure they got Oscar Piastri then. They just haven't announced it yet. Yeah, now that opens up an empty spot in the Alpine seat. I wonder who they're gonna put. They announce it soon. It's already. I don't really know. Yeah. And then now Oscar Piastri, who we were just talking about, my teammate, he is in the pits now. Let's see how many, and he has a 5-second time penalty. What? Maybe he was the one that caused the George Russell incident. I don't know why he has a 5-second penalty. Probably because of some track limits. But yeah, after me passing all the people in the pits, I end up P9. So I'll just give you a rundown again. Verstappen P7, Fernando, Alonso P8, I'm P9, P10 is Bottas, and P11 is Norris now. So I'm guessing Daniel Ricciardo pitted. That means he was going 1 lap longer than Norris on the softs. Oh yeah. That means if I box on lap... Oh wait, now this is lap 8. So that means I would have boxed this lap. That would have been late. Yeah, I think good thing I stuck with lap 6 or boxing for mediums instead of lap 8. You see in front of me there's a little fight right there. You see that? Which is a good thing. Well, not for them, but for me. Because them fighting means the gap to me and the racers up in front is that it will go down since they're squabbling and losing time. See, now I'm 1 second. Hamilton's on hards. And I don't think that was the wrong tire choice for Mercedes to go on hards. So yeah, I wonder what they're playing at, because hards is not a good tire. Or it's a good tire, but like for this long of a race, no, not hards. And I got another warning for exceeding track limits. And I got the gap less than 1 second, but not behind the DRS detection point. And you see round the outside, I overtake Max Verstappen. He tries to get back at me, but then through the S section, I am ahead of him. So now I'm P8 now. In front of me, we have Hamilton P7 and Fernando Alonso P8. So that was a pretty nice overtake, right? Around the outside. Yeah. Now going on through this back straight, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get DRS because that was 1 second. Yeah, I get DRS now. I'm behind Hamilton, stay in a slipstream, activate that DRS. You can see Max Verstappen he's going down the inside. I get into a slipstream and then I send one down, a dive bomb on the inside. I defend my position. Pretty nice. And you see Gasly and Alonso are fighting, which brings me right up to the back of Hamilton. I send one down on the inside. And I think we touched a little, but it sticks. I overtook Hamilton. And now P6 is Gasly, P5 is Fernando. And you see Hamilton tries to send one down on the inside. I cover it up a little. And then who goes in the pits? Who's that in the pits? Who is that? Let me show on the map. And that was the GOAT, Nicholas Latifi. He went into the pits. He was in the front. Can't believe that. But he had a 5-second penalty. So yeah, he went into the pits. Now I'm P6, Gasly P5, Alonso P4. And it looks like Max Verstappen got overtaken because now P8 was Lando Norris. And now it looks like Lando Norris was overtaken because now it is Bottas in P8. So they're squabbling for positions behind me too. So now it should be what? Bottas, Norris, and then Verstappen. Yeah. But Hamilton is really close to me. You see the gap is only 0.2. Yeah, I get DRS from Pierre Gasly. I'm using my ERS. I'm trying to get into a slipstream. but the gap is still going up, not going down, even using all of that. But yeah, now Alonso overtook Tsunoda, which means the gap just goes down for me even more because more squabbling. The same place I sent one down on Lewis Hamilton, I sent one down on Gasly, and I think that for sure I definitely made front contact with his front wing, so he might box there, he might not. Now I'm P5 and Tsunoda's in front of me, and Fernando is P3. He's in a podium position right now. He's doing pretty good. I mean, in real life and in this game, he's pretty good, despite how old he is. Yeah, but Gasly goes into the pits, and that was my bad. I hit his front wing. But yeah, now I get DRS from Tsunoda into the first turn, and I also hit his front wing. Man, I'm just at it for the AlphaTauris today. But yeah, I overtook Tsunoda, but it was a pretty dirty move since I hit his front wing. Yeah, now I'm P4. Fernando's P3, I already said. Pretty good for his age. And because, like, he's in, like, a midfield car, so going onto the podium, pretty good. Yeah. And then now, Checo Perez is P2 in the Red Bull. But he's, like, what's that, 10 seconds away from me? Or is that for Fernando? I never understood how the time thing worked. But yeah, he's pretty far. So the positions are just going to stay like this for the whole race. And we got Charles Leclerc P1 in the Ferrari. He's on pole. I was about to say he's on pole, but no, he's first place. And then Tsunoda's still behind me. And yeah, I run a little wide there onto the curbs, and then there's Mark telling me there's gonna be rain in 10 to 15 minutes. But the race is going to be over in 10 to 15 minutes, so no need to box for intermediates or anything. And yeah, now there's also fighting behind me because Lando Norris just swapped places with Lewis Hamilton in P6. This lap time was a 1:39.636, and then I skip onto lap 13, or the beginning of the lap. Or that was the time for lap 11. Now this is the time for lap 12, which is a 1:39.943, and then I also skip on to this is the lap time of now lap 13, which is a 1:38.895. And now this is the final lap 14, final lap. So I just let you watch through the final lap just to see me go one more lap fully around the circuit, or the Circuit of Americas. So I guess I'll just commentate it again. I'm going through the S section. Or maybe I'll just let you watch this in silence. Alright, I'll stop commentating. Hey, some more time. You can watch me do this final lap. When Lando Norris or Lewis Hamilton just overtook Lando Norris again for P6. So you can see there's a nasty fight behind. Squabbling positions for P6, and you see the gap between in front of me and behind me is pretty big. The gap to Alonso is 4 seconds, and the gap to Tsunoda is 6 seconds, so I'm running a comfortable P4 in this race. After Suzuka, P12 or something like that, and no points, P4 is pretty good. It's a pretty good weekend for the team and for me. Nice points in the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship. Just going around the last big U-E or big turn. You can see Charles Leclerc is the winner of the F1 2022 Texas GP. I'm going onto the last turn. There's the checkered flag. And I run it was a little squiggly. And I end up P4. Let's go. Alright, race over, take the car in, whatever Mark says. Yeah, P4. Pretty nice. Driver of the day is Yuki Tsunoda. And yeah, that's a pretty good race for us. Charles Leclerc P1, P2, Checo P3, Alonso P4 is me, Tsunoda P5, Hamilton P6, P7 Verstappen, and you can just see I'm scrolling now. Oscar Piastri, my teammate, P18. I mean, he was 21, so I don't know how good that is. Yeah, I move up into P8 in the driver's standing, which is 96 points with Little Norris 93, so it's a close fight with him. And then constructors, the everything team is just P6. So thank you for watching, like, subscribe, and catch us in the next episode.